got great news on a Friday. It's even better than the best document dump. Boehner out. But the bad news is I'm not quite sure what this does for progressives in this country. Good to have you with us on this Friday edition of Ed Schultz News and Commentary. If you hadn't heard by now, John Boehner has decided to call it quits as Speaker of the House. End of October, it's going to be over. Of course, there's an uproar on the right wing in this country, and the Democrats are saying it's about time. Boehner is not going to be remembered for a speaker of action other than negativity. I mean, how many votes did they actually hold in the House to get rid of Obamacare? Why wouldn't he work with the White House when it comes to jobs? Why wouldn't he do anything on infrastructure? It was more obstruction. He was just the quarterback of a dysfunctional Congress. And I think for Boehner, it's a take this job and shove it moment. And for America, I don't know what's going to change. Does this empower the radicals even more? Kevin McCarthy in line now to be Speaker of the House. For more on all of this, let's go to Tim Ryan, who is a congressman from Ohio, great friend. First of all, people are working over Ohio State because they're not playing anybody. I need your first reaction to that.
They're right.
But they're playing well. That's the good news.
They're doing all right. We had a little tough one, Squeaker, last week. We're a little too close for comfort for a while.
I'll tell you what, everybody was working over the Buckeyes because you didn't win by a big enough margin. All right, to serious stuff about Boehner. This is news a lot of people in the House certainly did not expect. Your thoughts on it? What happened here? What unfolded? What do you think brought this to a head?
This has been brewing for a while. I mean, we can go back to the first time he was at the White House. He was talking to the president about a comprehensive tax bill, $4 trillion, tax reform proposal. He brought it back to the Tea Party folks in his caucus, and they wholly and entirely rejected it. And that was the beginning of the Tea Party really. You say he was the quarterback of a dysfunctional team, but it was the Tea Party up in the box calling all the plays, and he had to go out and try to execute it. And, obviously I think he got tired of it. I think they got tired of him, and it was all coming to a head with the Planned Parenthood and the government shutdown and everything that's coming in the next week or so.
So Congressman, was it a take this job and shove it moment for John Boehner? I mean, it seems to me it's like a guy just threw his hands up and said, to hell with it. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's some truth to the fact that he may have been able to squeak out another win, but, it would have gotten uglier and uglier. It started with his swearing in the vote for Speaker last year, where he had a handful of people say they wanted someone else to be Speaker within his own caucus. It's continued to fray from there. And he probably said, to hell with it. I don't need this stuff. I can go play golf and drink Cabernet and, watch football. And probably make a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Here he is making the announcement.
But it's become clear to me that this prolonged leadership turmoil would do irreparable harm to the institution. So this morning I informed my colleagues that I would resign from the speakership and resign from Congress at the end of October.
Well, short and sweet and to the point, and almost to the point of giving him a professional finger. Here's, at the Vote Values Summit in Washington today, this is the reaction in Rubio trying to get political gain on it.
Just a few minutes ago, Speaker Boehner announced that he will be resigning.
And with all, what is it that crowd didn't like? I mean, he stopped Obama on everything he wanted to do. He and McConnell teamed up and got the House and got the Senate moving to deliver a record number of filibusters. So why is the Tea Party so excited about this, Congressman Ryan?
Well, I think they keep wanting to go further. I think even when they did shut the government down, from my conversations with other Republicans in the House, it was Boehner and the moderate, whatever is left of a moderate, what even that means right now, I don't know, was trying to talk them out of it. We can't do this, we're going to lose. If we shut the government down, we're going to go down in the polls. We've been here before. Trying to explain that to the Tea Party folks, and so now I think they just want to drive the car completely over the cliff. I mean, without anybody like a John Boehner trying to say, "Hey, this may not work out." Now, Boehner capitulated every time to them. but I think he was trying to provide an alternative viewpoint and an alternative road that maybe wasn't as strident. And his language, too, that's what I think we're all learning with this. It's not even where you are on the issues. It's how angry are you? Is your language more or less strident? And if it's more strident, you're more conservative. And Boehner didn't always come off like the bomb thrower. He would say some stuff because I'd look at it and think, well, he felt like he had to say it to appease the Tea Party. So he slowed him down a little bit, Ed. And he always capitulated in the end, but now I think they got frustrated with, hey, we don't want to sit here and talk about this. We just want you to do what we want you to do. So now they're going to call the plays and have the quarterback in that they maybe want.
Here's Senator Ted Cruz having fun with it.
You want to know how much each of you terrify Washington? Yesterday, John Boehner was Speaker of the House. You all come to town and somehow that changes. My only request is, can you come more often?
Well, the reality is that the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is trying to give John Boehner some credit for taking over power in the House, and it's just not going to happen. It was the gerrymandering that took place in all of the districts that have put the Republicans into power. Boehner is not going to be remembered as a guy of accomplishment whatsoever, and Nancy Pelosi pretty much sums it up.
That resignation of the Speaker is a stark indication of the disarray of the House Republicans, a demonstration of their obsession with shutting down government at the expense of women's health, and a sign of the failure of the House Republicans to be willing to engage in dialogue for the good of the American people and for us to move forward.
So, Congressman Ryan, the defunding of Planned Parenthood and the looming shutdown, do you think this played into Boehner saying to hell with it?
I think so. This was another fight. Again, he was going to try to say what some Republicans have said. Shutting down the government is not going to solve the problem here. So why are we going to do it and look dysfunctional? And he knew he would maybe put up a fight again and then have to capitulate again. And that's where what you said, he probably threw up his hands and said, to hell with this. You know, I'm done. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and keep doing this and losing these battles and having these extremists continue to get their way. You know, let somebody else take a try at trying to rein him in. And I don't know who that's going to be, because now they're going to be more empowered, more emboldened, and it's one of those things. You know, when you give your power away. Boehner, a long time ago, Ed, we've said this before, he should have just started bringing bills to the floor, working with Democrats, take 150 to 170 Democratic votes, gets 50, 60, 70 Republicans. Let's pass a transportation bill. Let's pass immigration reform. It'll be down the center. It may not be what the left wants, but it'll be something that moves the country forward. Yeah. And he didn't have the guts to do that, and he empowered the Tea Party. I remember him on a bus tour in Ohio in 2010 when it was 9 Democrats, 9 Republicans in Ohio in our congressional delegation, and he was going through. He was riding the Tea Party wave. He was stirring up the Tea Party. He was throwing red meat to them. They won in the short term. They knocked out 5 of our members, and now it's 12-4. But now, you reap what you sow, and he's getting bit on the behind right now.
So Kevin McCarthy, what's he going to be like?
No idea. I mean, it's hard to tell. He just got into leadership not too long ago, and I think he's going to be in the same position unless he's got the guts to take these guys on and really say, hey, we're going to try to alienate the most extreme. Or if he's one of them in the closet, so to speak, maybe he hasn't shown his radical cards yet. That's going to be interesting. It will be. Maybe he's playing it cool and he wants to put on a nice face. We'll see. I mean, he's in California. I heard that about 35% of his district is Latino, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays the immigration card. And he's going to be front and center now. It sounds like the big fight's going to be over the number 2 spot. Yeah, and the radicals are going to want one of their people in the number 2 spot. So we'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting theater the next few weeks.
All right, Tim Ryan, Congressman from Ohio. I'm filling in for you at the AFL-CIO meeting in Youngstown, Ohio next Thursday. I'm looking forward to it.
You got people so cranked up, man. They're ready to rock and roll. Northeast Ohio is going to be on fire. Big Eddie's coming to town, baby.
And I don't have a script either, and I don't have any rules. It's going to be very interesting.
I can't wait to see you.
All right, Congressman, always a pleasure. Tim Ryan from Ohio with us here on Ed Schultz News and Commentary.